Hey everyone, we're back coming to you live from ICSC Recon 2018. I'm Alana Leffler and lead our retail marketing for the Americas Retail Services platform, and we're here at the Cushman & Wakefield booth in the Las Vegas Convention Center, that's C1339, and we hope if you're here that you'll come on by, stop by and say hello. We've got lots of our retail professionals here representing the best of Cushman & Wakefield, and if you're at home or in the office, we're glad you're here tuning in and hope you'll continue to do so as we live stream all day today and all day tomorrow from the conference floor. We've got Justin Taylor here with us today. He's our head of retail EMEA. Hey Justin.
Hi, very nice to be here.
All right, well we're very glad to have you. How's your time in Vegas been so far?
It's been really good, obviously having a good time. We had a very good day yesterday, a sort of Cushman's. We had some client meetings, but also we've got the Asia team here. We've got colleagues from Europe as well. Obviously the Americas. So very much on theme with our clients around everything global, which is what they want to talk about and what the trends are and what's going on. I think the other thing, which is very much one of the messages here, is, and that we're getting again being asked all the time by our clients, is what does the future look like for retail real estate?
Yeah, that's really been the message that we're seeing over and over again, the theme of this year's conference at Recon, and it's the biggest global show that we have here for retail services, so it's really wonderful that we've got your team here from EMEA, we've got our APAC team representing, and it really shows our depth and breadth of who we have globally and how we connect the dots down to the local level.
Yeah, and just on trends, I mean, we're seeing, it's very interesting yesterday, talking with the US team, a lot of the trends that you're experiencing here in the US are similar to what we're also experiencing right across Europe.
Right, yeah, so we've got a lot going on with experiential retail, you know, a lot about the curated shopping mall space and how that's evolving and growing. There's so much happening with technology now in the bricks and mortar stores, and then also going to the online and how those mix and mold together. So in EMEA, what are you seeing are the top trends and how are they evolving?
I think one of the biggest trends we're seeing is a move away from pure single-use retail assets, and whilst development pipeline is reduced across most of Europe, what we are seeing is a real pickup in mixed-use development. So the idea being that it's not just about shopping, you can stay, you can work, you can live, you can do anything that you want to do, right. and part of that might be shopping. So we're also, I think I've invented a new word, this word we were talking about.
What's that?
This word, commingling.
Commingling, I like it. That's the new buzzword, yeah. I think, for you, huh?
It's not something that anybody should be doing in Las Vegas, but it's really all about, from a development point of view, all of these uses working together. And we're also seeing retailers, when you look at their stores, what's going on, increasingly, yes, they're selling things, but it's an environment to do lots of other things as well, learning, education, a lot of events going on in store. I just actually came down from Vancouver, and I was in the Arc'teryx store there, and they were just about, it was about 6 p.m, they were about to have a ranger come in and start a lecture, and there was probably 100 people there, just ready. So, you know, there's selling, and then there's learning, and there's that whole piece around engagement with the brand.
Right. Well, that's amazing how you can have all those things working together, and it really creates that environment, more of a community environment that you're looking to achieve, and especially in a mixed-use environment and development. I mean, this way you've got the audience at your fingertips from a retailer perspective. If you've got residents there, you've got office workers, everybody's there, and they all need to eat, they all need to shop, they all need, you know, clothing and so forth, so it wound up being a great, unique space.
Yeah. So I think all of this is about community, and as I say, retailers are needing to build their own community, and how all the consumers are engaging with those retailers as a brand that does more than just sell stuff. And it is all about, well, how do you beat the internet?
Right. So it almost turns into these brands become more of lifestyle brands as they evolve. So, they might start out as an apparel company, but then they really get into what is unique to that brand, what is unique to that product, and how do you really give the consumer the full experience.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a real push on lifestyle brands. A lot of the sports brands, which are big in the US anyway, but we've seen a real upswing of take up of space, and also health clubs. Some of the US gyms coming over to the UK and into Europe as well. Equinox was a good example. They've been around for a little while now.
Yeah.
And then in the department store sector, which is quite challenging here, and it's quite challenging in the UK and in some areas across Europe as well. And you take a store like Selfridges, which is absolutely world class, but again, all the time they're running an events program, learning, and it's all just about how do you put things on. They've had boxing there, which is sort of slightly off piste.
Wow.
Lot of increase in F&B in store. So just a lot of change going on.
So let's just go back to the boxing thing for a minute. Selfridges had a boxing demonstration or like a match?
Yeah, no, I don't think it was a match. I think it was more of a health kind of event.
Okay.
We didn't have any shoppers sort of punching each other up there.
Well, that's good to hear. But again, that's such a unique thing to feature in a grocery store, and I mean, I guess it gets people to the space, it builds that community that you're talking about, and it makes it interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really all about the much overused word is experience. Everybody talks all the time about experience. You kind of, well, what is that? I think what we'll see, it may happen here in the US, you know the market very well here, but certainly in the UK and across Europe, we'll see I don't want to put a number to it, but I think there will be a lot of shopping centres that actually get to a point where parts of them will be demolished, or all of them could be demolished,
Right.
to really make way for other uses, and to create the opportunity to bring in more leisure and experiential uses. I'm going to an event later run by the Void, which is one of these kind of things. I'm really looking forward to that. It's all about I think this particular one is Star Wars, but I think it's technology which is the great facilitator.
Right.
And then it's about bringing customers. How do you get customers to come back to your centre time and time again, spend money, be engaged? So I think we're going to see as I say, a lot of change particularly in the shopping centre sector.
Interesting. And what about high streets? So, there's a lot being done in the shopping centers to make sure that this evolution is happening with the retail experience, and that's a lifestyle center really. But what about the high streets? Are you seeing them getting as much thought and care to the way that they're being curated now in EMEA?
What we're seeing, it's across the retail sector in town, is you tend to get the big cities doing really, really well. There are then pockets of wealthy affluence, quite lifestyle-y smaller towns which are also doing well, but there are lots of other locations which are struggling, and I think that comes back to the community. It's what role are those high streets going to play in the future over and above just retail, because some of that retail is just going to go away and will be converted to residential, and bringing back the uses that used to be in the town centre, and perhaps over time have had to move out. But there are some great high street locations up and down the UK. London generally is performing very well. So the high street market's quite good.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here, Justin. We're so psyched to have you and your team here from EMEA. Thanks to you guys for tuning in to us today. We hope you'll join us again as we live stream from the Cushman & Wakefield booth C1339 from the Las Vegas Convention Center at Recon 2018. Thanks.